Hey guys, today I want to go a little bit over Rogal Dorn, the battle tank. He is an annoying boss fight in my opinion because he will most likely kill whoever it's in front of him due to his classification as a vehicle. Um, so this unit's movement is not blocked by other units. Instead, they get pushed and take 2 times 775 to 810 melee damage. This is 75% pierce ratio with an extra 50% against vehicle. Meaning, for example, that Cygax, I believe he's going to be classified as a vehicle, and he would be a bad option to take against this guy, especially if you live in front of him. However, we can't really use him yet. He's the AdMech character that has not been released yet. Pretty sure he'll come out on, what was it, April, I believe. But yeah, he's a vehicle, so he'll take that extra damage from him. That being said, I doubt I would even take him against Rogal Dorn. So let's go. Let's go through abilities real quick. He's immune, so he doesn't take armor reduction, hits reduction, movement reduction, range reduction, and nor can he get stunned, suppressed, nor taunted. Also does not receive knockback damage. He's a big target, meaning that he does not get any bonuses from tall grass nor trenches, and adjacent friendly units receive a -1 hit from range attacks to a minimum of 1. He also cannot be displaced, and again, he's a vehicle, meaning that he will not stop for fire, razor wire, broken ice, and others that would normally force a unit to end their movement. Does not get any bonuses from tall grass, trenches, mechanical, and it's also mechanical. Then we go through the abilities, pound them to dust. This is the one that he uses the most, or that probably people have seen the most, is where he targets. Oh, hold on. It's gunner skills on site. So pound him to dust is wherever he hits someone, and then he aims at a space. It's kind of like a circle, but it's 7 hexes what he's marking, and whoever stays there by Rogal Dorn's next turn will take 3 times 843 to 1011 heavy round damage, meaning 55 pierce ratio. Then the one that you see the most is Gunner's Kill on Sight. This is the annoying ability where whenever someone moves in or out of wherever he's marking, which is within range 3 of the front of the tank, he will start hitting 6 times 304 to 371 projectile damage. That's a 15% pierce ratio. And you can disable this by scoring 2 criticals. This applies only when you're in epic guild rates. In rare guild rates, he actually only needs 1 critical for you to disable the gunner skill on sight. And I have not reached legendary. Our guild has not reached legendary, so I'm only guessing that it's going to need 3. Most likely, we will stop around Belisarius' Call. If we're lucky, we'll be able to defeat it, and then we'll, get gate kept by Gaskell, the Prophet of the Wog. That's usually how I've seen these things go. I don't know how Belisarius' Call is going to be in the epic rarity. He's going to be tougher for sure. I'm more worried about his colleagues doing damage, really. Eldrion specifically. I mean, not Eldrion. Tangida with his ability that he has. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So again, back to Rogal Dorn. He has the gunner skill on sight, and then he has ablative plating, meaning that any incoming damage with less than 60% pierce ratio has to go through armor 3 times, unless they're critical hits. So you either want to take characters that have more than 60% pierce ratio, which is anyone that has plasma, anyone that has molecular, and anyone that has piercing attacks or direct damage, right? Those, I believe, are the only 4 that will pass the 60% threshold. Or, try to take someone with a lot of critical. So we'll go over to the lineups that I was taking for this guy. Then you got weaker rear armor, meaning that behind Rogal Dorn he takes an extra 50% crit chance, and we already talked about this one. So let's go into the battle. And okay, so he's got 183 1000 HP left. I'll probably do about 50 to 70k if I do well enough. So what I was taking before this lineup was basically this. Let's clear everything up. This guy. I was taking this guy, and Ithana. So logic behind this team is that Morgan Ra does a lot of damage, as we've talked before, you know, as you've seen in my videos. He's got the extra 15% chance for critical, and then if we combine that with Ithana, that gives him an extra 19%, meaning that if he didn't move, he will have so that's 35 plus an extra 15, that's 50, plus 19, that's 69% critical chance on every hit, and he hits 6 times with his range attack. However, here's the caveat: you cannot move Morgan Ra, so he gets that extra 15%. If he moves, he loses it. He needs to stay in the same spot for a turn in order for inescapable accuracy to activate. That being said, this is a horrible matchup for him because you have to move him around. Rogal Dorn will move like this. Wherever he's facing, he'll move 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. He'll end up here. And then he's going to reposition himself to face towards me, meaning he'll face down. And he will start selecting the area that we are mentioning for him to start shooting crazy. Again, that means that Morgan Ra cannot be anywhere in front of Rogal Dorn because he will die. He will get squished. And if he gets shot with Gunner's Kill on Sight or with Pound Him to Dust, he will die. There's no question about it. He will die to either of those 2 attacks. He's still bronze 3. He's legendary, but he's still bronze 3. He cannot take a hit for the life of him because he will take the life out of him. So I no longer take Morgan Ra. Instead of him, I discovered that Amos Spec is actually a good option. He also hits 6 times, meaning that he will apply every single proc for Eldron for his passive. Doom is still going to apply to normal attack, so that's good. Meaning that, you know, every single hit is going to take that extra damage, give that extra damage, and then aside from that, if I position him in a good spot, you know, for Rogal Dorn to move, and he didn't attack, we get inescapable death. So he will do extra damage if he didn't attack. All I have to do is to not attack in one turn whenever Rogal is going to move in front of him. And he will be doing more damage than if he would have just attacked. That being said, if you position yourself behind him for the crit, hit it. Hit it, because you're going to hit crits. Crits are way better than the passive. Way better than just, you know, trying to trigger the passive. We take Ragnar because he does 7 hits, and we got Warhowl. I can only use it once, and most likely I will only benefit from him that one time. Every other hit will most likely do jack for damage because he has a pierce ratio of 20%, meaning that he has to go through armor 3 times on a 20% pierce ratio. So he does very little damage. Then Harken is also a viable option because he has piercing damage, and he is a flyer, meaning that he will be able to move around the whole map, doing a lot of stupid shit. That being said, he only does 4 hits, and he is weak. He has 286 armor and 1,347 health. So he will probably only be able to tank 1 or 2 hits, and then he dies. That's what happens to Eldron. He can take 2 hits from Pound to Dust, and the third one will kill him. And Ithana can now survive more hits. No, actually, she has about the same as the other guy, but she can fly as well, and she is more useful than Harken at this point because she as well does the pierce damage. Only 3 hits though. However, again, the passive is what matters. Gives an extra 19% crit chance and an extra 85% damage to every attacker within 2 range. So right now, this is the lineup that I was taking. As I showed you before, I wasn't taking these guys. I was taking Harken and Morgan Ra. Prior to this, I was actually taking, prior to having Eldron even, I was taking Harkin. I was taking Angrax. You can, in theory, take Archimatos. He would be useful, especially if you max out Demonic Incursion or, you know, leveled it up as much as you could, because the Bloodletters do piercing damage. So that 331 will go through. If it, you know, if it crits, that's even better. And then if you combine it with Eldron, that's even better. So you could theorize that he's an option, but when the summons move, and if he's doing pound to dust, pound them to, I mean, kill on sight, he's just gonna, you know, go over everyone and just kill them. Another one that I was taking was Abaddon, because he would basically buff Harkin and Angrax. I guess Tutmos is another option that you can take, because he's Plasma, 65% Pierce ratio, and, you know, he's a flyer. It's two hits and then the passive direct damage. So if he's leveled up, and he's one of the few that you have leveled up, take him. He will survive. He will move around. He will do the damage. That's, at this point, that's what's important, right? Being able to do the most damage that you can. So sometimes you might think, oh, you know, I'll take these guys because they have the piercing. They have, they are the ones that are able to combine themselves properly. However, you go in and they die. Why? Because they just couldn't take the hit from the summon, or, you know, they're not summons, the mobs, or they couldn't move fast enough for Rogal Dorn to not kill them. So it's kind of pointless to take your strongest if the strongest can't survive, which is, again, the reason why I take Bellator. He does very little damage because he has Volter, which is 35 piercing, I think, 20 piercing, even less. However, he's my strongest character. He's the one that I've ranked up the most. He's gold 1. Then if he crits, he's doing an extra 436 and has a 39% crit chance as a base. So that's pretty good. Then if you combine it with Ragnar's Howl, he will most likely hit every single crit, doing a lot of damage on that initial hit. And again, I'm taking Eldron and Aethana because of those passives. They will just boost my damage, and if they don't die, that's all I want. I just need them to be around. They don't even have to hit. They just have to be close enough for these three to be able to proc out of them. So again, he's facing to my right, so I need to make sure that I adjust accordingly. That means I need to put this guy over here. Actually, over here. This guy can go in the middle, and Ragnar can go all the way to the right. Actually, he'll go in the middle here. Why like this? Oh, let's change this guy as well for Sonji. Galatian can be useful. You just target wherever you know he's going to land, and he'll shoot at that spot. Biovore is useless. I do not recommend you taking Biovore on this one. Forge Fiend, you can only do 2 hits on your enemy because it's 6 rounds and you cannot do the first shot. So you have to aim it to where he's going to move into and then flame him again at that spot. So again, you only get 2 actual hits with him. And then Sonji is actually slightly more useful because he hits vehicles. He will hit vehicles with twice 163 to 194. And then this damage is reduced by 30% for each hex that target has traversed during its last turn to a minimum of 0. Any damage dealt to vehicles and big targets is increased by 75% each. Meaning that since this guy is both a vehicle and a big target, he will get an extra 150% extra damage thanks to that ability from Sonji, which again, it's on 1 cooldown and takes 1 munition, so you know you have to have bullets in order to do that. But the other ability is free, and it's also going to be doing some damage. Not as much, but you know, 23 to 29 blast damage is better than no damage. So this is currently what I'm taking for Rogal Dorn, and let's see how I do. Hopefully, again, I'll be able to do 50 through 260,000 damage, if possible, even more. So let's start this. So it's 1, 2, 3. So first off, let's move Thana over here. Kill a guardsman. Then, you know what? Emospec would have been better over here because he's got a movement of 3, meaning he would have gotten to this spot. 1, 2, 3. No, actually, it still doesn't reach. So, if possible, you want to put him around here, around this area or this area, so that whenever Rogal Dorn moves, he will move within range for Emospec to trigger. So he will get that extra hit from, that extra damage from his passive and his Overwatch. So let's just move in now. Yeah, this guy goes in here, and oh, that's awful. I let go too fast of the stupid movement, and now we will lose out on a lot of damage because Eldron is all the way to the back. That is just awful. So let's do that. He's doing that attack, which is the god awfulest attack that he's got. So we'll do this. You'll see Athana is going to lose probably a third of her HP. There you go. See, these two are fine because they don't care. Then Athana hits with a crit, and then we are hoping that we get that 39% chance on Emospec to get that critical. He's got 6 hits. So hopefully one does critical. Why do I want this right now? Because that way I'll be able to push Eldron a bit further in, and nothing. At this point, what are we doing? Shoot, I don't want to activate his ability yet, but. So Eldron needs to go here because if he moves one closer, he's going to die. He will die, so he doesn't have to hit. Whatever. Again, we are missing a lot of damage, but we need to do as much as we can. Then we push this guy over here. Oh, look at that! There's the crit. And then Sonji will mark this guy with the active. That thing gets moved around. Pound him to the dust, and then again. Eldron doesn't need to be next to them. He just needs to be 2 hexes away from Rogal Dorn to activate. Then do I activate here? Nah. So we'll push this guy over here. We'll push this guy over here, and we'll push this guy. Over here is fine, and Athana can go all the way back here to get that that critical, because you know what, Bellator should have been here. Again, placement is very important, guys. You need to make sure that you place them all in the right spot. So Bellator should have been on this spot if possible, and Athana should have been in this spot if possible, or at the very least here, because she's already doing piercing, and her critical isn't good. She's only doing an extra 92 damage, and again, it's only 3 hits. So Ragnar would have done better with that extra 50%. Bellator would have done way better with that extra 50%. So again, very important to keep in mind where you're placing them for those criticals. So let's hit. Oh, that one's good. That one was 1, so that's good. And 2 hit. Then we hit with another marker light so that we continue doing damage on him. It moves around. Again, pound him to the dust. And now we reposition. So Athana can go in the middle. Eldron can move back here. Ragnar will have to activate Howl now. He needs to go right here because this is the only spot that he can fit into. Then Bellator has to go back here. And unfortunately for Emospec, he has to tank a hit. Hopefully he won't die. He's got 475 armor. He's got 19,000 HP. If he dies, he dies. That's the world we live in. Let's hit with this thing. The range attacks from Tower Empire. So Marker Light might be better if I were to have Tower Empire Tau characters here. I don't use them. The only one I have is Revas and Sonji. So let's continue doing the active. Sure, we're spending 1 bullet. 1 munition, I mean. Whatever. What else am I gonna use it for? Actually, you use it for Guild Wars, and you use it for Arena, just in case you want to be able to get more and more points. So, that being said, let's see how much damage I do right now. We're at 8,600. So, bomb. That's almost 4,142. Then Ragnar's turn. 12. So we're at 12,742. That goes up to 25,000. That's an extra 13k from Ragnar. Just Ragnar hitting with his criticals. He was at 100%. That's an extra 36, extra 19 from Athana. He was already, I believe, at 35. And then we add the rear armor exposed. So again, we're doing a lot of damage. Then Athana hits, 25,889. That goes to 28,000. That's 3k. You know, not that great, but it's still pretty good. Then we hit it with Bellator, 34k. Then we hit with Eldrion at 35k. Oh, he survived. That's good. That's good. And now we're gonna get pound to dust. Eldrion will not survive. So what I need to do here is hope that I get a critical here. I didn't. They will die. He will die as well. Ragnar might die. Athana died. She was not able to take 1 hit. That's unfortunate. See, that's 1 crit, and then fuck it. Yep, that's what I thought. So, see, I'll move him, and he's going to die. Oh, that sucks ass. So we have 1 turn left. Might as well just hit criticals. There we go, 42k. See, I wasn't even able to reach the 50k. Reasons why I was not able to reach 50k. Mainly that first turn. Since Eldrion was not able to reach within range 2 of Rogal Dorn by the time that I was able to attack it on the first turn, I missed out on, what was it, an extra 5k damage, because every single hit was gonna get boosted. So yeah, keep that in mind. So last turn, I don't even think I should spend a bullet on him, because yeah, it would have no effect. So let's just mark it, and that's it. That was Rogal Dorn. 42k damage, 2 golds, 2 silver 1s, 1 silver 2, and you know, this is the team that I like to use against Rogal Dorn. Right now, it is in a way my strongest team. Eldrion and Athana do need to get stronger in order to survive those hits, because they are the weakest ones. Imaspec, because he's at gold 1, he can tank, what was it, 4 hits from that gunner skill on sight. And oh, I'm sorry for moving that shit, guys, but that would be the video for today. Thank you for watching. Please use my friend code if you want to and would like to support me. It really does help me out, and it gets you 300 blackstone, remembering that you can only use 1 friend code in total. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please comment if you have any comments about this. Give me any requests if you want me to cover something. Again, this is unscripted, ad-libbed, and I just talk about what I'm thinking during the recording. So take care.